Okay. New trailer is out. Let's see.
Limbus Company.
Okay. So we got the one who shall grip Sinclair. We got Mittelhammer Dawn. Okay. 3-star, 2-star. Oh my god, look at that face though. Oh, look at Faust's face though. Oh my goodness. Now that is real good looking.
밤이 되면
Okay. Dawn in a The night falleth, I shall be occupied with delivering justice. And it is time to. Okay.
정의를
Interesting.
지탱하느라 바빠지.
Yeah, she's a knight, right? So she likes justice and all that. I didn't really see like Dawn being part of NCorp, but I guess since she's a knight, maybe we can argue that.
그러나 그대와는 내 언약을 세우리니.
Wow. Wait, let me go back. I wanna hear that again.
전부
Incredible.
전부 불태울 거야. 역겨운 내 삶까지도.
Oh, look at that. It's the mark. It's the signs. Oh shit. What a POV. We are looking at him through some dead guy's head. No. There's like two. I think there's like two corpses left and right here. And we're just staring at him. Ooh. What's Faust doing to his hair though? Is he trying to like mind control him or something? Oh, it's the halberd. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, it has fire. There's fire in the axe. Oh, so cool. That's a 2-hitter. Oh, all of them have trails of fire. Is it actually true? Is he going to be a burn?
당연한 결과죠. 저는 선택받았으니까.
I was kidding when I say he was going to be burned.
겠죠?
Oh my goodness. A burn? His helmet was on fire. He had 2 and 4 coins from what I saw. Dawn had about 3 coins and 1 big coin maybe. Interesting. Okay, so if he has burn, right? Then maybe maybe we throw him in with the Lius instead of with the ends. But no, there should be some synergy between the end corpers. Because after all, Faust is literally in the art, so there should be some synergy there. So I already did some previews before I watched the thing. So what I wanted to talk about was which of the end corpers would you run with this? Because okay, so with Dawn, right? With Dawn and Ninclair, we technically have 6 end corpers. We got Heath, Rodion, Massault, Faust, Ninclair, and Dawn. So with that we have 6. So in that case, one of the end corpers has to sit down because we can't bring them along in a full end corp team. And I actually concluded that it's most likely going to be Grob Hammer because looking at the rest of the end corp gang, right? They all have some really good damage, clashing, or utility. Assault has his tankiness going for him. He also has quite a huge amount of nails here and binding. So it was a tough one. I really don't know. So if we look at the current passives that we have, right? For Clyhammer, we have 1 ally with the highest speed, inflicts +1 nail, and it's 4 lust owned. Looking at the rest, Faust has gripping. Gripping is lust. Assault does not have gripping. As in doesn't. Assault has no lust move. He has sloth, wrath, and pride. Rodion has the lust move, and maybe Dawn or Ninclair will be running lust, maybe. But basically, if you can just gather enough lust, you can get quite a bit of nail application going on. +1 is no joke. It's pretty decent when you think that it's 1 ally with the highest speed, right? So usually among the N Corp gang, we got 3 to 5 speed on Grob, we got 3 to 7 speed on Mittel, 3 to 7 speed on Cly, and Faust is 4 to 8 if I remember correctly. Let me open her up and double check. Faust and Corp. Yeah, 4 to 7 speed. So looking at the because basically if that speed, right, if this lands on higher speed, then technically Rodion will get some turns. Rob Hammer would not really get because it's 3 to 5. But it's not impossible. He may get the buff, and the one who grips also can get the buff. And Faust has quite a lot of nail application here. So if it lands on her, it's really good. Rodion's one is also really good because it's own 3 ref. The problem is if you bench her, I think the only ref source we have is Assault, right? Yeah, on the skill 2. We don't have another ref source if we benched her. Maybe the other 2 units will have it. I don't know. Basically, I'm hoping, right, that the next 2 end corpers will give either ref or lust so that we can start seeing some of these passives being used to support the end corp team. That's my hopes, at least. But tentatively, I think that if there's enough ref res, then it's probably going to be Encop Grobhammer because most of the time, his clashing power is not super great. His damage output, I don't remember where he was in the tier listing that time. Basically, I have a new site. I'll show you guys later. To see whether they do how much damage. And he's pretty on the low end. So thinking about that, most of the time in content that you're just farming or you're doing railway to try and speedrun stuff and you don't need any tankiness, you probably won't be bringing Assault. Yeah, so I'm thinking that he's probably the most likely option to be benched. Because Fnatic is still great because it raises skill final power and it affects ally lowest HP, gives attack power and protection, which are all great stats, all great buffs. The problem is that the Wrath right now is a bit hard to get because we only have Rodion and basically no one else. So I'm hoping that the other 2 will be able to fill in the slots. Otherwise, I really don't know how we're going to get this passive to work. I mean, we could talk about the one who grips. Maybe they put a lot of Lust Resonance and then you can use this. It's not as amazing of a passive because its SP gain doesn't really give too much damage. Assault's one actually does give quite a decent amount of damage compared to Faust. And of course, if you literally want damage, you can also bench Rodion. But Rodion is quite useful in my eyes. What is Cast Ego? She can charge it with this, and then you just need a bit of Gloom. I don't know. There's so many NCOP teams I want to theorize, but at the same time, we don't know the elements yet of the new units, so I cannot say anything. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything. Theoretically, most of the time, I think you will not be bringing Grobhammer because he is probably on the lower side of the damage and clashing. So I would say that you will probably run Fly, Rodion, Faust, and Ninclair plus Dawn. Tentatively. I do not know the numbers yet. I'm hoping that the numbers are great because I see Faust in the same room as Ninclair. So that means that they gotta be a little bit busted, right? Because Faust is pretty damn strong, and then Ninclair's right by her side, so maybe equally as strong. It just makes lore sense, for them to be equally as strong. Dawn is a bit of a wild card. I didn't expect her to be there, so I have no like thoughts about her at this point in time. I don't know. Yeah, so I think that's all for this video. I am still waiting on the values and the coins to appear first. For this video, I think I wanted to show something. Yeah, I want to show this tier list here. Oh, sorry for how wide it is. So for this tier list, what I want to explain is how okay, so these people, Nex and Lowercase from the Discord channel, they've done some tiering based on the statistics of the clashing and the damage output. So they never talk about anyone really around the Bs or Cs, but you can go to this link here, which will show everyone's role charts. So you can just go to here and just look at everyone's individual clashing abilities. But they do talk about how the S tier and the A tier are really great clashes and how they're really strong. And I generally agree with all of this actually. I have been trying She Dawn now. She Dawn, although over brief skill tree, still I don't believe that it is going to be like actually procced. The thing about She Dawn is that she has some really good coins when the sanity is high. Overbrief has a 95% chance of rolling that high coin now. And her base ego also has the same thing, where instead of caring about their base power now, we actually don't really need to care about it, because 95% chance to roll hits means that most of the time we'll be getting the good value anyway. So her base ego is pretty much pretty okay at this point. And then about all of these, I just kind of agree with them. I want to explain the squares as well. Blue badge means that technical control is better. So for example, if you give W Dawn or Rabbit Heath more actions, they can do more quick suppressions, get more leaps, get more rip spaces, blah blah blah. So very strong. Yellow means that their passives are really good. Ting Tang and Otis have really good passives. I have Ting Tang open here. So his passive is one ally with the highest SP deals 20% damage with hit coins. That is really good for cutting down turns in the railway. And then lastly, we got the purple badge, pink badge. Okay, pink badge, sure. The pink badge is very good in min-max strategies in railway. So yeah, she Ishmael, I showcased how good she is if you bring her to railway and you just let her take a bunch of damage. Then you use Gregor to heal her up, and whenever she goes a little bit too low. But honestly, when she gets 50%, right, and you use the skill 2, she will basically never lose. It's 4 coins, it's ridiculous damage. Same logic for reindeer here. The logic for reindeer here is that you don't bring anyone else. And you stall until you get a lot of actions, and then you just mind whip every single turn. Because when you are the only character to be targeted, because she cannot target herself, right? You know how mind whip works? Mind whip is it will target an ally or an enemy. But if she's the only one, it cannot target herself. So you just always target an enemy with mind whip, and you can just spray it around the room. I've seen a lot of interesting strats where they just solo with reindeer and it just works out. Rabbit Heath, don't really need to say anymore. It's just re-roll until you get Polysec into quick suppression and then you're good to go. Yeah, I did that for one of my runs as well. So this theory is pretty good. I'll place the link in the description below. I would rate this higher than Pridwen's list because they did the math and I trust their math. If you want to scroll down here, you can actually see how they did their math and the probabilities and whatnot. I can't interpret this, but I just trust them on it. I talked to them in the Discord, so I think I can trust them. That's a stupid statement, but okay, whatever. Basically, they did the math. I've read some of the math. I've asked some people around, and they say that this list is pretty good. And okay, fine. I'll just agree then, because most of these actually kind of coincide with my own list anyway. So hey, I can agree with that. One of the surprising ones is that they actually reached Heathcliff mediocre, which I was very surprised because I really thought he had no redeeming qualities. But apparently his clash was either his clash or his damage was decent enough to beat the rest of his kit. But I'm still not a believer. I'm not a believer yet. Maybe you need an ego or something to make Heathcliff a bit more viable. But yeah, okay, that's it for this video. I introduced this statistical math probability thingy. Alias. I agree with most of it. The Sheheath one is still a bit sus, but whatever. And yeah. I can't wait for Ninclair. I think I have enough to spark him. And if I don't, then I have quite a lot of lunacy from all the compensation. So I will be trying to get him. Then I will wait for his preview before I judge him. Yep, that's it for this video.